guys, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, the British Challenge with me, Pug Gaming. So last episode was the cinema and small retail park, and since then I did do a little bit of detailing off camera, so don't be too mad about it. But as you can see, this is what we done last episode, and also up here added in a bit more of the sort of industrial area, I guess. So I found a few warehouses and factories and done a bit of detailing around them. I wanted to fill in this gap, and it seemed to fit the theme a little bit better here than doing some more commercial. I wanted to get a bit more industrial going on. So as you can see here, we've got a couple of factories here and a couple of warehouses with some crates and lorries around, just to give it a bit more of an ambience. I was finding it difficult to find props here for these two areas. All I found really was the crates and big containers. There's not too much on the workshop that I can find for that, really. Now this huge office block stroke warehouse we've already added, but what I've done is I've added a bit around it as well. So a large car park in the corner there. Hopefully that'll fill it with cars eventually, because it is actually a working car park as opposed to a prop based one. And I also added this little garden area for where the workers can come on their lunch breaks. Got a few benches around there, and it does look good as well. Added a few flowers. I found a good combination of the grass and daisies. They do seem to work very well together. Unfortunately not on distance. I need to look into that. If anyone knows what I need to do, and if there's a mod, I think there is a mod to do that, let me know. You'll have to excuse the frame rate just then. It did seem to drop out quite a bit on that little area. It's probably because of how much detail is in there. So just moving on to my last video, which was I need your help. Yes, I need your help to name the particular zones in this first area, really. We've got the 8 areas here, as you can see. Actually 8.5. We've got this one in the corner, which we're going to add as well. So keep your comments coming in. There's been a lot already, and there's been some absolutely cracking ones, so it's going to be difficult for me to actually pick a winner, but we'll choose one next week for the first area. Now let's get on with episode 17, the city housing. So I've spent quite a lot of time over in the other corner creating the industry and commercial. It's now time to detail these houses and get these looking much more in shape for a city such as what I'm basing this on, which is based on Milton Keynes. So looking at a few Google images at Milton Keynes, I mean, this is the way I normally get my detailing and ideas from, is just looking at real life situations. But with Milton Keynes, the housing, I've already put the roads down, as you know. The layout is as a Milton Keynes housing estate and area. But I have noticed that quite a lot of these houses are very similar to what we've done in the first sort of small town. There's a lot of greenery, a lot of trees around, probably trying to break up the difference between this zone in actual Milton Keynes, between all the industries and commercial, to an actual housing estate. Now I know all my videos are time lapses, and there are some YouTubers out there who do time lapsing and a bit of sort of live play, or a bit of both. I want to shout out to you guys to see what you prefer. Would you like to see a bit of both? And what I've decided to do in this episode is this area here I'm actually going to do as a live feed rather than a time lapse. This will also help me out because I did do a poll on my Twitter account to ask whether you guys want to see a live stream of me playing the game, and it was actually quite a good response in the favour of yes, please do so. So this will give you an idea of sort of how I play live, and see if you still want me to do that. So what I'm doing here is I wanted to create a little focal point in between this housing block, and that's something that is quite regular in Milton Keynes. They do have these sort of U or block houses with a middle area for a bit of greenery. So what I was thinking here is just to create a little pathway through, and just make a little focal point, just to break the housing up, break the roads up, and just to add something to it here. So I always like to experiment with new props and ideas, and what I decided to do here was actually use some of the stones that we use for the beach here, just to create something around this this raised grass area, which will in the end have a tree of some description on top of it. But I really do like these pebbles, stones, whatever you want to call them. They do look really realistic up close, and also from distance. So I'm going to create a sort of a shingly area here with these stones. So let's keep plopping them around. Okay, just going to fill out this area here as well. Not all the way to the end though. I'm going to try and blend that back in. So we've got a bit of a cross between the two, and something like that. Yeah, that's better. Excellent. Okay, just a bit more blend in this corner here. Don't want it to be too much of a sharp sort of attacking edge. And what I do like as well is not these leaves, the gravel. The gravel, in my opinion, looks a lot more like dirt and sort of grounding for plants and trees, etc., than anything else. So I've actually been using that quite a lot now. I know there are the flower beds props out there as well, but when you're using the gravel, it just makes life so much easier, and it's so quick to do when you've got the sort of 2x2 and 4x4 gravel assets. So now to pick a tree, probably won't go for a plant. Couple of flowers around. Not too sure. It doesn't really show up because of the level of this block, so we'll leave that out in this particular situation. Doesn't really fit the theme. I might have to go back to the standard trees here. That's too big. Yeah, let's just go back. I do love this tree. Right, pop that in there, and that is pretty much that area done. So just a little bit to add around it, but yeah, that's the first ever live feed I've done of something in the game, and here we go. Let's jump back into a time lapse. So that brings us almost to the end of this episode of the city housing, and as you can see from the map, this is far from complete. We've got a lot more work to do here and a lot more detailing to continue with, but yeah, I look forward to hearing your feedback, and also don't forget to give me some names for the previous town and villages we were creating before. Let me know in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next episode. All the best.